album,
Yay.
well, a bit of it last week, and loved it.
Thank you.
Can you give us any kind of clues to what the other tracks are called? Any titles?
There's a song called Naked Love that you didn't hear that's really good.
Is that like a hot ballad about hot naked love?
No,
or is
it's
it raw,
super
emotional?
fun pop dance, like, it's by the writers who did Moves Like Jagger.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's really like, it's fun. Yeah, it's catchy, really catchy.
So Naked Love is about like sexy times naked love?
No. It's actually, it sounds like that, but it's it's about wanting the kind of relationship that's no bullshit. Like, it's just no frills. You don't need all the smoke and mirrors. You don't need all the hubbub. You just want the real thing, honest, stripped, naked as in stripped back.
Like raw.
Yeah. Like it says, like, don't dress it up tonight. You don't need to like put on a show. Like just be
showmance.
Yeah. None of those. Those are bad news.
Some good video possibilities for that.
Yeah. No, it's really like fun, breezy, like rhythmic pop.
Yeah. And you've collaborated with Bruno Mars on the album. Have you got any vocal collaborations coming up?
Possibly, but we're working on it.
Oh,
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like we have a couple possibilities.
Yeah. Alright.
And if the one that I want to have happens, I think everybody's going to be very excited. So just...
And you can't give us any clues?
I can't.
Tall, dark, handsome, strange?
I can't.
Male, female?
I can't.
Okay. And from what I heard as well, it's, and you've been saying it's like light and dark album.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like a 50-50 split? Or
Essentially, yeah. It's I definitely wanted to kind of... duality is something that's been explored before, but I just wanted to do it from my perspective. And I don't care if it's been done. For me, it's a new expression. It's something that I think everybody deals with that. The kind of the battle between light and dark on some level.
Yeah, we can't be happy all the time.
No, and everybody has things to deal with, and hardships, and fears, and insecurities, but we also, hopefully have things to celebrate, and hopefully we're finding connection in our lives. Yeah. And the light side of the album talks about being an individual and marching to the beat of your own drum and like saying, I know I'm an outsider, but I don't give a shit. I'm going to do what I want to do. It talks about kind of knowing when you're kind of out of your mind and crazy and loving it and celebrating it. Naked Love talks about like, real, like no frills, honest love. Yeah. There's songs about nightlife, there's songs about going out and kind of like just craziness of it and the adventures of it, and a lot of these are dance songs, so hopefully they'll just make people want to dance.
Yeah.
And then the dark side deals with things like self-sabotage and heartache and being in relationships that aren't good for you. Talks about under the surface, as sometimes underneath the veneer, sometimes there's more than meets the eye to a person, or there's sometimes it's hard when you're going through a tough time or you're, in pain emotionally. You have to kind of put on a game face, kind of what that feels like.
So do they become quite therapeutic for you then?
It was really cathartic, and they're all the songs are songs that are directly autobiographical on some level. And the other cool thing about it, I think, is that the songs, it's not completely black and white. The songs there's shreds of hope in the dark stuff, and in the light stuff there's moments that are dark. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a statement too, is that both sides need each other. You need to find balance, and they need to coexist, or else it's not complete. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what, I just turned 30, and like I think I'm in a place where I'm kind of like, my perspective is growing a little bit sharper, and my hindsight's now has some years behind it. Yeah, it is. And I have like the last like 10 years, if I look back, I'm like, wow, I've learned a lot.
Yeah. Would you change
and I'm still
anything?
learning, of course. What?
Would you change anything looking back?
No, I wouldn't. No, because it made me who I am. I mean, even the things that I'm not proud of, or, I look back on choices or moments where I'm like, well, why did I think that was right, or, if only I had known this. But if I hadn't known it, I wouldn't have been through what I went through. So
you learn from your experience.
I'm not someone that regrets a lot.
And I've also heard you've been saying that your album this time around is a bit deeper because you've fallen in love.
Yeah.
So is a lot of your album, like a lot of the lyrics, about your current relationship?
A couple songs, yeah. I mean, I think it's just deeper because overall I'm just in a more grounded place. Obviously, falling in love gives you a certain amount of security and confidence and joy, and I feel like this contentment in my personal life that I haven't ever felt. So that, of course, inspires me as an artist and makes me come from a different place.
You've got new things to write about.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, you know, it makes you kind of, you're able to see the darker stuff a little bit more clearly, especially when you're on the other side of it.
Yeah. So does your boyfriend ever hear the lyrics and be like, is this about me? What?
He's definitely kind of asked, yeah. So a couple of them are, you know. And I think the idea of the album is to kind of create things that are very autobiographical, but that hopefully people can relate to.
Yeah.
So when I'm writing about love, yes, I'm writing about my love, but I'm also saying, like, isn't this great? You know, do you feel this too? Have you had this in your life? You know, hopefully it brings people in.
So when you're actually writing a song, is it, because I'm always really interested in this, is it the lyrics that come to you first, or do you get like a melody, or is it like a combination?
It's different. It's always different. You know, I think for the most part, the best collaborations and the ones that probably made the album were ones that the producer would probably play like a chord progression or a beat or a bass line or something, and then myself and another writer would kind of like freestyle over it and record the freestyle. And that's usually the best way to come up with a lyric, or come up with a melody and a groove. And then maybe there's one thing that kind of pops into our head as like a theme or like a concept, and then we just start kind of spinning it from there.
Yeah, okay. And because your last album, I remember hearing that it was quite quickly put together after Idol, like in a few months. So
about
this album,
2 months, month and a half, 2 months, while I was on a tour.
When you look back at that now, after having a lot more time to create this album and get involved in it, do you feel like
I think the time and energy and focus on this album pays off.
Yeah.
I think it makes it a stronger cohesive piece, first of all. Now, I really feel like this is like a true album. It's like a body of work as opposed to like a collection.
Yeah.
And I think that it's more me. I mean, I think being the executive producer of the album and writing many of the tracks, the majority of the tracks really, they're me.
Yeah.
It's my experience. It's my life.
Yeah, well, from what we've heard, it's brilliant.
Thank you.
And have you got any ideas? Obviously, you're only just getting it off the ground over here and stuff, but every song that I heard, I thought could be a single.
There's a handful of songs, that I feel like are single potential. And, you know, that was part of it, too, is like I want to make music that people will want to hear and that'll play.
Cuckoo seems to be popular amongst the fans, like amongst us, and how do you...
I mean, the fans haven't heard it yet.
Well, people
I think
keep
they're
tweeting us saying, like, Cuckoo, is he going to release Cuckoo?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know. I think it's definitely a single at some point, I think. There's a song called Naked.
Imagine if you could release them all.
I hope to. Yeah. I hope to release them all eventually. But that's the joy about getting an album, you know, and I think that in an age where singles are kind of taking over, like, we kind of forget that, like, well, there's an album. You can go get the album.
Yeah.
Please go buy it.
Else. Yeah.
There's Naked Love, there's Trespassing, there's Cuckoo, there's also a song called Never Close Our Eyes. All 4 of those are probably potential singles.
Your favourites.
Yeah, and I can see making great music videos to all of them.
Especially the naked one.
I'm not getting naked.